Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about something that I'm super passionate about, and that is how to afford to be a stay-at-home mom. So I believe that every mom should be able to stay at home with her baby if she chooses, but unfortunately that is just not the world that we live in at the moment. So we kind of just have to work for that if that is something that we really want. I have been a stay-at-home mom now for the past 11 months and I absolutely love it. It is my dream come true. It's something that I've always wanted, and I feel truly blessed to be able to do this. And in saying that, this is just a disclaimer. I understand that it is not possible for some, just in the situation that you are in, for you to be able to be a stay-at-home mom, and I understand that it is a big privilege. These are just some things that my husband and I did to get to this point, and I hope that it can maybe help some of you, give you some ideas, or get you on the right track to be able to be a stay-at-home mom. So yes, it is a privilege, but it also comes with a lot of sacrifices, and that is my first tip, is to see in your life what you can sacrifice. And these sacrifices don't have to be forever, it is just the season that you are in right now. So look at your life and see, what can I possibly sacrifice? Things that might not be the easiest or convenient, but things that I can live without. So for example, cars. Maybe you have 2 cars at the moment. See if it is possible, if one of you stays at home, if it is possible to maybe only have 1 car. Maybe you have to drive your husband to and from work every day, but maybe that extra car payment or that extra car insurance makes a big difference in your life. Maybe it's eating out. Maybe you eat out 3 times a week at the moment. How about you only eat out once every 2 weeks? Then look at your rent. Maybe you live in an area at the moment that is a bit more pricey, but it's convenient because it's closer to work. Maybe you can move to a less desirable area, but it means that you save a lot on extra expenses. So for me and my husband, we currently only have 1 car. It does become a bit of a mission sometimes. My husband works and has meetings all over the place, so sometimes we have to figure out who has the car when, which is a bit of a mission, but it is okay for now. We are also staying in a 2-bedroom apartment, which is a bit tight because my husband works a lot from home, so we have our nursery and office as a 1 space, and we have our bedroom as the other space. And so ideally we would like to have a nursery and an office separate, but for now we are making do with what we've got, and we have a really good deal with where we are living right now. Our landlords have been really lovely to us and haven't put up our rent a lot in the past few years, so we are sticking it out here and making it work. Okay, so once you've figured out some things that you can sacrifice in your life, then it is a good idea to go and plan ahead and budget. So if you're not pregnant at the moment and being a stay-at-home mom is your dream, then start planning now. Figure out what your minimum living expenses are and see how you can budget in that. So my husband and I currently use a budgeting app called YNAB, or You Need a Budget, and I sit and budget every single week. I go over every single expense, every single saving, and make sure that we are staying within our means. YNAB is a paid subscription, but I find that we save so much money when we are using it that it actually ends up working out really nicely. Okay, so once you've got your bare minimum living expenses sorted, then have a look at your husband's salary and whether or not he'll be able to cover these expenses. If so, great. If not, then don't worry, we'll get into that into the next step. But for now, I really suggest that you set up a bit of a safety net for yourself. So look at saving 3 to 6 months of living expenses as an emergency fund. Of course, living on 1 salary can be kind of risky, so you want to be able to have that safety net in case anything goes wrong. And also with saving comes being debt free, so I really suggest you pay off all your debts before you decide to be a stay-at-home mom. My husband and I love Dave Ramsey and his baby steps. They are super simple, easy to understand, and really easy to follow. So I would suggest getting Dave Ramsey's book if you'd like. Okay, so let's say you've figured out your bare minimum living expenses, you've saved some money, and now there is still a gap between what your husband earns and what you actually need to live. So this is when I would suggest starting to think about what kind of flexible business or side hustle can you do. Unfortunately, the world is just not set up for a 1 salary household, so it can get really difficult to try live with just 1 salary alone. So maybe get creative and think about what is a job or a little business that you can start that you can do part-time, that doesn't need specific allocated hours, that you can kind of just do when you can while you have your baby. So for example, I was couch flipping until just a few months ago. This is basically when you find a couch at a good price that maybe needs a little bit of fixing up or a good clean. You clean it up, you take some good photos, and you repost it on Facebook Marketplace for a profit. I made some really good money doing this, and you can do it with many different things. You can do antique furniture, you can do bed bases, you can do anything. Anything sells on Facebook Marketplace, and often I found that people were either immigrating or just needed to get rid of their stuff fast, so they would put stuff on Facebook Marketplace for really affordable, and that's when I'd snatch it up, give it a good clean, whatever needs to be done, and then resell it for a profit. Another job that I've done online before is transcribing for podcasts, for videos, that kind of thing. It was through a company, I can't remember the name right now, but I'll leave it down here below. And basically you just had to take a simple English test to make sure that you know how to transcribe properly, and then you could go online any time of day, share your availability, and then you'd be sent jobs to transcribe. So there's so many options to do some side hustles. Just get creative and see what are you passionate about and try to figure out something within that. And on a side note, my husband and I recently invested in a little food trailer, so we sell gelato and coffee through that at events and markets and that kind of thing. So yes, trying to diversify your income also is a good idea so that you're not relying on just one salary. And my last tip is to live below your means. So figure out the most affordable way to live, whether that's where you shop for your groceries, how much you drive your car, or how much you spend on clothing. Just try to figure out the best way and the most efficient and affordable way to live. So for example, my husband and I always used to shop at Carrera's in Randburg for our groceries. It's a really affordable fruit and veg place compared to your normal grocery shops like Checkers and Woolies. But now we have our insurance and everything through Discovery, so we get 50% back on our healthy foods at Checkers. If you guys want a video all about optimizing your Discovery in order to get points back and to get your percentages off your groceries back, I can do a whole nother video on that, but just let me know. A good idea also is to maybe look at incorporating some vegan meals into your diet. Meat is often quite expensive, and so having some vegan meals every few days can really make a big difference. Maybe you can also move to an area closer to where your husband works so that you don't have to spend so much on petrol. Again, like I said, maybe you eat out quite a lot at the moment. Maybe there's a way to reduce that. And yeah, I can go on and on about living below your means, but it's all about looking at your own life and seeing what works for you. If being a stay-at-home mom is something that you really dream about, I really hope that these tips helped you in some way, whether it just sparked an idea or it gave you the encouragement to actually take that leap and do so. You know, our kids are only little for such a short period of time, and I think if being a stay-at-home mom is something that you really desire, then the sacrifices do become worth it. If you have any other tips for anyone else, please leave them below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!